Hey everybody, this is Mary from Sophisticakes by Mary. I haven't done a video in a very long time. Had to get through wedding season and last season, and then new computer that couldn't figure out how to edit my videos on it. The old app was not available on that one, so long story. Anyway, I'm gonna scooch over here. Maybe you can see me. No, that's not better. I look awful like normal because I don't get ready for anything during the day. It's just me here. Anyway, I thought I'd show you, I have a 2-tiered cutting cake for a wedding this weekend, and I thought I'd show you how I stack my 2-tiered cakes, if I haven't already done this one before. I don't know. Anyway, what I have a chilled 8-inch, a 6-inch cake that I just brought out of the freezer. Freeze it real quick, so firm it up so it's easier to work with. So, gotta work pretty quick before it starts thawing out. So I got that. I've got 6-inch pan to mark where I'm going to put my dowels. Not even dowels. I use the boba straws, the big fat boba straws. Those are what's going to support my tier. Got my level that I just used to cut these. An edible pen to mark on my straws where I need to cut them. A, what do you call it? Toothpick to mark where I need to place them. And my scissors to cut the straws. So, I'm just going to get going. So what I do, take my 6-inch, the size that you're putting, water on there, that you're putting on top of your bottom tier. I'll wipe this off, make sure that doesn't happen again. Make sure that you're spaced fairly evenly. You got a little fudge room. It really, as long as you're in the realm of reality with spacing. And I take my toothpick. It's hard to do this backwards, and I just mark around the 6-inch pan. Doesn't have to be a 6-inch pan. It would be a 6-inch pan if you're putting a 6-inch tier on top. Whatever tier you're putting on top that you're supporting, then that's the pan size that you mark out on the one below it. So now I just take my straws and put one in as evenly and straight as you can. I use the edible pen to mark where it hits the cake. I think I got the cake more than the straw, but if that happens, just take your fingernail, push it down where it meets the cake, pull it up, hold on to it, take your scissors, and cut there. Can you see what I'm doing? I hold both sides because they fly around if you don't. So that's where your cake would need to be. I need a paper towel. Hold on. I like to wipe off the straw. A little easier to work with because, you know, doing cakes is messy. Push that up in there so it doesn't give you a false reading. And I'm going to go ahead. I know this is edible marker, but it looks gross. So then I take my level and I also like to use, it's a bendy ruler to mark on my other straws where the line needs to be. Now I butt it up against here, take another one, hope you can see this, line it up with it, and then I mark where I need to cut. There. So I cut the second one. Now I use these two as a guide. First, double check, make sure that they're same, and they are. I use these two as a guide, and I typically use 6 in between each tier. Unless you're dealing with a really tall tier, or tall cake with bottom tier, then I would add a few more. Like I do a ring around the outside, and then I do like maybe 3 in the middle, just for added support. Then I take this bendy ruler. I like it when it's bendy because I can kind of push down on the sides, push on your level, push down on the sides, so that, how do I explain this? So that it's butting up against the 2 that we already measured. So you know that the ones in the middle will be the same. And I just draw a line across all of them. So then I have all of my straws marked. Just cut them on that line. no exciting stuff. Let me sing. Could, but I won't. There it is. Couldn't find it on that one. Now, before I stick them on in the cake, I like to make sure that they're all even. So by pushing up against my level again. You see that? And it looks to me like this one might be a tiny, 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 tiny bit longer. So I'm just going to shave off as evenly as possible. A little bit more off of that one. See? There, that was all it took. You do more than that, you might overdo it. Okay, so I'm going to stick this one back in the hole that it came from. And I go directly across. Stick another one in. Now you're inside the ring that you marked, about a ½ inch. I'm going to push this all the way down. Come here. Then I do 2 in between that, the original 2 that are directly across from each other. Space them as even as you can. It's really not going to hurt anything if it's not exactly right. As long as it's not dangerously separated. If you feel like your cake might start tilting because there's nothing underneath it, you might want to redo it. But, okay, so this one's already gone down. Now, you know what, I'm going to grab something. Hold on. Sorry about that. My pliers. These are my food safe pliers. I've never used them on anything but cake, so they're fine. Now, and I just pull them back out. This is how I keep from damaging the cake below it. This is what works for me. Everybody has their own method, but this is what works for me. Pull them all up relatively the same height. I know I said the cake on the bottom has been chilled, but it has been sitting out for a couple minutes, and frosting thaws out pretty darn quick. I still have a little bit of water on here. Dab, clean towel. Now I have my bag filled with icing. Just gonna cut the tip. I don't want it too big because I'm going to use it for something else in the second step, and I don't want a big hole in it. So I just put a little in there. I take this tier, my spatula that I like to use. I like to use this painting spatula to separate this tier from the board because it's thin. Put it on the edge of the counter. You can't see this. The edge of the counter, and I pull down a little bit on my. I have little plastic cake boards that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I use these to actually frost the cake. I go a size bigger than the one I'm frosting because I have your regular cardboard one underneath here, but then I place both of them on these plastic pieces because you can frost and get your bench scraper on top of there. Make sure you get a level coat. Smooth coat on a cake on this, and you're not making a mess everywhere. I just lift it up, get rid of that, then I put it on top of the straws because they will go down, but it gives you a little time to check your spacing. Sometimes you actually need to coax it a little bit with the board that you use. The other side, the side that doesn't have frosting on it. See, it's starting to go on that side. That's probably the straw that I put in first. I don't go all the way down before I double check. I'm thinking maybe over just a smidgen. Whoop, too far. That happens a lot. You don't want to touch it too much because it's starting to thaw out. I think that is pretty good. Push it all the way down. Not too hard to where you're like hurting the frosting. There. And that's really it. But sometimes I will go back in if there's a gap. I call it caulking the joints here, just like in your bathtub. I just take the bag and I run a little line in between. Actually, the hole in this one's a little bit bigger than I usually do. That's all right, because I'm going to use my clean finger, of course, you could use a brush if you wanted to, wipe off the excess. This is what I do when I deliver wedding cakes. This is how I stack my tiers at a wedding too. That's why I don't deliver assembled in general unless it's a 2-tier and sometimes a smaller 3-tier, because I want to do this on site to get those gaps filled in. And since this one has the horizontal texture on it, I'm kind of running my fingernail along the bottom. Clean hands, to kind of give it a ridge again. There we go. And that is how I stack my 2-tier cutting cakes. Ta-da! So, there we go. I'll see if I can figure out how to edit on my phone now, and then hopefully I can do some more videos and start getting them out there again, because I've got a lot of new subscribers and I haven't posted anything for a long time. So I appreciate all your views and all your likes and occasional dislikes. It happens, whatever. So yeah, I think that's it. So I will catch you later, and thanks for watching. Bye!